Hello fellow humans, this is part 1 of my Spigot programming course. In this course, I'll be teaching you how to make your own Spigot plugins in Java. We'll be going over everything from commands, to listeners, to GUIs, to databases, to minigames, and even NMS. The course will last for around 100 episodes, and it'll teach you everything you need to know from start to finish. It is assumed that you already know very basic Java for this course. If you don't, then make sure to check out my beginner Java course. It's not necessary to be super experienced with Java, you just need to have some very basic experience to understand what's going on. With all that said, let's get into the rest of episode 0. During episode 0, we'll be setting up your Integrated Development Environment, or IDE, which is effectively an advanced text editor. We'll also be setting up a testing server to test the plugins on, and we'll be making a very simple first project. When you go to the first link in the description, you'll find the IntelliJ website. IntelliJ is the IDE we'll be using for this course, as it has a variety of plugins to make Minecraft development easier, and is an overall very good Java IDE. To install it, go over to Download. Here, you'll see the Community Edition and the Ultimate Edition. The Community Edition is free, and it's all of the features we'll need for this course, so I'll be downloading the Community Edition. Once the installer downloads, open it, and go through the standard installer wizard. Now that that's installed, we can open IntelliJ. Before we make a project, let's first go to the plugins page and install the Minecraft development plugin. This plugin sets up our compiler for Spigot for us, allowing us to skip over that part for now, as it's very complicated for beginners to understand how to do that on their own. If you want your IDE to look like the one I have during the course, install the Dracula theme plugin, as well as the Add a Material Icons plugin. Once you've installed your plugins, restart IntelliJ. Now that IntelliJ is set up, we can create our first project. To do this, click on New Project. Then under Generators, select Minecraft. If Minecraft does not appear for you, double check if the Minecraft development plugin is properly installed. Set the name to whatever the plugin name is. I'll name it Tutorial Plugin. Set the location to wherever the code should be in your files. I'll keep it in the default location, which is Idea Projects. Set the platform to Bucket, and the Bucket platform to Spigot. The Minecraft version will be 1.19.4 for this course, as I advise you to always stick with newer versions, as many features you can use to develop plugins do not exist on older versions such as 1.8 and 1.12. Set your build system to Maven, and put the group ID to your domain, but backwards. So for example, my domain is hepno.dev, so I'd put mine as dev.hepno. If you do not have a domain, just put it as me.yourname. So as an example, I would put me.hepno. Under JDK, click Add JDK, and select Amazon Corretto 17 for your JDK version. After all that, click Create. If you're wondering why we chose specifically Java 17, it's because that's the newest long-term support release. As of the time recording this, the newest version is technically Java 19, but this version is not a long-term support release, meaning that after only 6 months, Java will drop support for this version and release a new version later. Therefore, we want to use the long-term support releases, as those are supported for years to come. The newest long-term support release is currently Java 17. Older ones include Java 11 and Java 8. Once you've created the project, we can close the IDE for now, as before we make a plugin, we need to set up a test server that we can test our plugins on. With that said, make sure you have Java installed. If you don't, you can find an installation link in the description. Then go to the papermc.io link in the description. Press papermc 1.19.4, download the file, open up your files, make a new directory called test server, put the jar you just installed in the test server directory, then run it. It'll generate a few files, including the EULA file. Open that file and simply edit eula.false to eula.true. After doing that, if you open the jar file again and wait for a few moments, the rest of the files will generate, and the server will start. Once the server starts, you'll see this big white box of text. This is your server console. Now that your test server is created, close the console to shut down the server, go back to the IDE, go to Projects, and find the project we created earlier, and open it. If you look at your sidebar, you'll find the project name. Open it. Under that you'll find SRC, which stands for source, and it's where your code will be located. Under main, and under Java, will be a file named your plugin's name. This is your plugin's main class. You'll notice it already contains 2 methods, onEnable and onDisable. OnEnable is the code that runs when your plugin enables during server startup, and onDisable is the code that runs when your plugin disables during server shutdown. Under onEnable, we'll write bucket.getLogger.info, which sends a log to the server console. In the parentheses, let's put some text. I'll put, the plugin has been enabled. If all goes to plan, When the server starts up, it should say the plugin has been enabled in the console. Let's test that now. Compile the plugin by clicking the green arrow at the top of your screen, and you'll notice a new folder will be made in your project folder called Target. Inside of Target should be two jar files. The one called your project name -1.0-snapshot.jar is your plugin. Let's drag that into the plugin folder of the test server we made earlier, and start the server back up. As you can see, when the server starts up, it says the plugin has been enabled in the console. And if you run the /plugins command, test plugin shows up. Congratulations! You just made your first Spigot plugin. In the next episode, we will be going over how to create custom commands for your plugin. If this video helped you, make sure to like and subscribe, it really means a lot. If you need any help, make sure to join my Discord server where you can receive direct one-on-one support from me and the other server members.